It is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Michael New from the Charlotte Lozier Institute to Pro-LifeCon 2022. Dr. New, it's a pleasure to have you here on our show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I want to talk to you today about why pro-abortionists have been trying to expand access to chemical abortions. First of all, I think there are probably a lot of people who are watching right now who don't even know what a chemical abortion is. Can you start from square one and just explain to our audience what is chemical abortion and why are they becoming more frequent?
I mean, sure. Chemical abortions are a way of obtaining an abortion where a woman typically goes to an abortion facility and gets one pill, and that kind of starts triggering the demise of her unborn child. And then, in the privacy of her own home, she takes a second pill where she expels the remains of her unborn child. And that can be obviously very traumatic. It's obviously a very painful experience for many women to go through, but it's a way for women to obtain abortions without necessarily going through a surgical procedure.
So who is targeted by these chemical abortions? What type of women? What kind of messaging is used to target women to take these pills back to their homes and get these abortions?
Well, a lot of times there's an effort to really push these chemical abortions in states where abortion facilities are closing. That pro-lifers have done a good job getting the number of abortion facilities down. I think that probably since the early 90s, number of standalone abortion clinics has gone down by about 2/3. So people who support legal abortion are always trying to make laws and rules more permissive. And these are really seen as a way to promote abortion, especially in those states where there are a few standalone clinics.
Sure. So I know that based off of that, recently there's been a lot in the news about the FDA approving chemical abortions being distributed via mail. So I would love to know your perspective on how this is especially dangerous for women as they are administering literally a do-it-to-yourself abortion at home without even the supervision of a doctor. Why is this especially dangerous for women?
Well, first, we know that chemical abortions are dangerous. There's studies from California using comprehensive data from the state Medicaid system and another study from Finland. Both these studies show that chemical abortions have a complication rate that's 4 times higher than surgical abortions. And doing these abortions without any kind of medical supervision only increases those risks. If a woman has an ectopic pregnancy and she obtains a chemical abortion, that can be fatal. If a woman is farther along in gestation than she realizes and she obtains a chemical abortion, that could pose some very serious health risks. Into early 2020, Britain began to allow chemical abortions by telemedicine. And there's a researcher there named Kevin Duffy, and he found that emergency calls to essentially for chemical abortions increased by 54%, and that ambulance responses increased by 19%. So we see from Great Britain that when they made abortion pills available by telehealth, that really increased the health risks.
So is the messaging behind getting a chemical abortion that it's safe and it's easily accessible? What I'm hearing you share is that it's pretty dangerous, but are they selling it as something that is safe and harmless for women?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, they do not, let women know about the real health risks involved. I mean, the FDA has found that we've had at least 24 deaths after the FDA approved the chemical abortion pill in 2000, and that's a low number. We don't really regulate abortion all that well in this country, so the numbers are probably much higher than that. It's portrayed as something that's safe and non-invasive, but the reality is much different.
Well, Dr. New, this is some pretty disheartening news, and I know that people in our audience want to know, these pro-lifers want to know what we can do to educate others and to speak out against chemical abortion and the dangers of chemical abortion. And more specifically than that, we want to encourage women to choose life. How can we craft our messaging, especially on social media, to promote promote life for women instead of choosing the chemical abortion route?
Lozier Institute has great information on our website. That's lozierinstitute.org. But also want all your listeners and all your viewers to learn about abortion pill reversal. If the woman obtains the first abortion pill and has second thoughts and does not want to go through with the abortion, there is a chance that her unborn child could be saved. So if people go to abortionpillreversal.com and post that on their Facebook pages and Twitter accounts, that would be a great thing. And if women or anybody out there wants to follow me and just learn more about chemical abortions, I can be followed on Twitter at Michael_J_New.
Dr. New, thank you so much for joining us, and we will definitely be directing people to connect with you and the work that you're doing over at Charlotte Lozier Institute. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.